Alright, trying a little vintage cube again. And this is pick one, pack one. And I am definitely going to take Jace here, although Thran Dynamo Quotient Relic. Enemy did very, very good. But yeah, I'm a Jace kind of guy. So my son is... I'm in the our room here because my car accident has left me laid up. So if you hear my son and my wife in the background, that's why. We're all just piled up in here where his stories and such. So pick two. Power levels quite a bit different in this pack. So could take the smaller Jace. I've actually found it to be very, very good. I also like Bitter Blossom quite a bit. And I also like Massacre Worm. I found that card to do a lot of work. Ultimate Price is also fine. I'm kind of tempted to take the Jace and not commit to whatever my next color is going to be, just because it's very, very strong. Huh. Oh, this is kind of funny. I suppose I could just play mono Jace. Just my whole deck will just be Jace, nothing else. Amusing as that is, this one's certainly the weakest of the three, I would say. But there's also Packrat, there's Tundra. Cruise is okay, this is alright. I mean, nothing in here is incredible, except for maybe Tundra. It's Tundra, this terrible Jace, but I'm kind of amused by the idea of having three Jaces, so I think I'm actually going to take the Jace for the amusement of it. And what better way to guard my Planeswalkers than with Moat with the wrong picture? So I guess I'll take Moat, and I think I've got my deck type figured out. So let's see what we can do here. Should be interesting. Of course, I'd love the Tundra for a deck like this, but gotta entertain yourself too. Alright, so a couple different cards here. I could take Sphinx on the hopes of tinkering it into play and flying over the Moat. Does Emrakul fly? It does fly. I also really like Emrakul because it's a heck of a finisher. And I mean, if I get past like Channel or something, I'll switch, but kind of an interesting one for me. Emrakul is also a frustrating card to play against. I think I'm going to go ahead and snag it and see how it does for me. It's the kind of deck it could fit in, just sort of a slow, do nothing, win with inevitability style deck. I really like Enlightened Tutor here. I like Sensei's Divining Top, but I actually have a lot of card advantage, so I don't mind losing some card advantage to get consistency. And of course, if I get like Soul Ring or something, I'm going to love this pick. But because I have the Moat there, I'm going to take the Tutor, because getting the Moat is going to be pretty important for me, and Balance is perfect for this deck, I think. So is, I'll say Maze of Ith is actually also very good. Now, Balance sucks with the Planeswalkers' extra cards that they're feeding me, but it's very good with Planeswalkers and Moat, because none of it's affected by that. Alternately, I could take like Signet, but I'm going to go with the Balance and see how that works for me. So I have in the past made a very good opposition blue-white deck. It actually works surprisingly well with token production. And I do have Enlightened Tutor to go get cards that can just lock the board down. So although Stoneforge Mystic's attractive, it's not that attractive with Moat. So I think I'll take Winter Orb and find out if I can build that style of control again. Well, not really doing it here. Am I more liable to splash green or black? And if I'm splashing, it's neither. It's none of these cards really. They don't fit at all. I suppose Figure of Destiny is a card I could play. It does fly over the top, right? Eventually. I suppose it's also a defensive card, maybe against early aggro, perhaps. So go ahead and take it for that reason. I'm not thrilled by that. I could take Relic Order for the same reason, and because it stops an early Soul Ring. There's Ancient Grudge, which I just love, but totally wrong colors, and then there's that thing in Tango Wire. Yeah, I'll just take this. I guess the other option would be Ultimate Price. I really don't like Leonin, so I think I'm actually going to take Ultimate Price. If I end up splashing black, I'll appreciate that pick a little bit. So I could see splashing red for like Dak Vaden if it came. And I can also see green for various cards like Murray's Wake. So I'll take the land that's a dual rather than the card that sticks me in a color. I guess if I'd been paying attention, I could have noted that there was a Duretti in there. The Duretti is really strong. So the Angel is also pretty good. I think I can do better than the Angel, so I'll take the Duretti in case I go that route. Just a little flyer for the moat that kills graveyards is alright. Vilark, okay, but I've got tons of card advantage. I guess I'll take the Cleric and put it on the sideboard. We'll throw this in the sideboard. So I've got a bunch of sideboard cards. This card could actually be a decent finisher. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. Crazy, crazy pack here. So obviously Channel's nuts, but Soul Ring is one of the best cards in Magic. I'm going to take that. Demonic Tutor Passing is a bummer. Karn, Tezzeret. There's a Cradle in there for somebody. Brainstorm's good. Contempt, Batterskull. This is a loaded pack with the kind of stuff you want to see, but Soul Ring is easy here. I've got the Winter Orb, so I think this is kind of pushing me more and more towards what I want to be doing. I could take Cryptic, Grim, Hallowed, Swords, and Boros Signet are all good, and then Angel of Sanctions is alright. I think Cryptic is harder to get and safer a lot of times. This deck definitely wants to be sitting on counterspells, so I'm going to go ahead and take them when I can. I've got to be a little careful because I need to get artifacts for that Winter Orb, but alright, so there's Workshop with that in mind. I could also take Baral just because Baral does what he does behind the moat just fine, although I don't really want, like, I've got balance, so I really don't want to be taking a bunch of creatures that are not going to necessarily, like, I don't want to put creatures out and then have to balance and leave my opponent with their giant thing that they cheated into play, for example. So I think Recursion is nice to have. So I think I will take Twister with the hope of not needing it in a game. It's certainly not great with Emrakul, but having the option to recur and also having refill against aggressive hand destruction can be pretty good. So here it's Ponder or Chalice, and then there's some fetch lands. The thing is, I would really like the Ponder, but I have this Orb and I have this Balance, and they both highly reward artifacts, so I'm going to take the Chalice. I really want more and more of those. Elspeth tokens can go over a moat.
What?
There's Steam Vents as a dual that I may not use. Dig loaded on card advantage. Elspeth potentially adding to that, but I'll go ahead and take it anyway because it's the only one that really, I think, makes the most sense in that situation. I could take Smokestack here. Kind of an interesting one. Feed it Elspeth tokens and just
Where the wild things
chew on those. That's kind of interesting. I could also take Dismember. I don't really like the card that much. Flicker Wisp is alright. Armageddon is not bad either. With the Winter Orb and everything, it could easily be an Armageddon deck. There's also just Regrowth off the Green Splash, which gives me the Time Twister Regrowth like loop. It's actually not the worst. I think I'll take the Regrowth and see, because most of the other cards there just
wild thing
really weren't doing a lot for
and
me.
Max said, I'll eat you
Alright,
up.
Kozilek's interesting for the
So
card
he was
drawing,
sent
but
to
I don't
bed
think I want
without
that. So
even
I'm going to take Trinket Mage for Soul Ring, and I've got Chalice. I guess that was another good reason to take Chalice that I hadn't even considered.
Forest grew
This card specifically.
and grew
Alright. I could take Linvala.
and
Take Academy
grew
Ruins.
until his ceiling hung with vines.
Any of these other
and his
cards,
walls
they don't
became
really do it for
forest
me.
all around.
Again, though, so I've got to be a little careful with Elspeth. I just realized on that pick,
And the walls
Elspeth
became
balance,
a
not
wall
exactly
all
where I
around.
want to be.
And
And
an
Vala
ocean
flies over
tumbled
the
by
mode and does a good
with a
job of
private
shutting
boat for
down
Max.
a bunch of mana
And he
dorks,
sailed
which
off
I'm
through
not
night
killing
and
with the
day.
moat, obviously. So,
And in and out of weeks.
or I could take Academy
and
Ruins. I
almost
think
over
I will
a
take
year
Linvala. We'll just see
to
if
where
it
the
ends up
wild
making the
things
cut.
are.
Wow, Brainstorm, Tezzeret,
And when he
Crucible.
came to the place where the wild
So there,
things
what
are,
and Condemn.
they
I don't
roared
have
their
that much
terrible
removal. I could use Condemn.
and
Brainstorm's
gnashed
great.
their terrible
I don't have a lot of shuffle
and
for it,
rolled
but I
their
have some.
terrible eyes and showed
Tezzeret
their
into
terrible
Winter Orb is
claws.
amazing.
Till
Quite
Max
possibly where I
said,
want to be, and
"Be
then Condemn
still
is solid. I think I will take the
and
Tezzeret,
see them."
actually.
With the magic
Hallowed
trick
Fountain,
of
easy pickup
staring
here.
into all their yellow eyes without
I'll take
blinking
Workshop and
once.
hope that I can get some more
And they were
targets for it.
frightened and called him the most wild thing of all.
If I'm going to splash, it would be for
and made him
Mortars.
king of all wild things. And
Jeez.
now,
None of these cards are particularly
wild
good for me.
ruckus
I'll just take LED because
what do they
I
do?
don't like Storms, so stick it to some Storm players. So Smokestack or Wildwood for the regrowth. Since I don't know for sure that I'm going to be playing Smokestack, I will take the Wildwood, and then it makes the green splash a little easier.
Now
I
stop,
like cards that support
said,
options
and sent the wild things
more than
off
I
to
like
bed without their supper.
medium options, you know.
And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely.
Alright, so if I continue with the
wanted to
idea
be
of
where
splashing
someone
green,
loved
then the
him.
Trop is good. Shelldog is just a great card, but I
Then,
think that the
from
Signet is the pick. I've got this stuff going on.
far away across the
I think
world.
it's in my colors. I think that's pretty easy. I'd love to see that Daze and Tithe.
So he gave up being king.
I'm
of
not
the wild
expecting to
things
see dual land come back around.
But the wild things cried.
I could take the board sweep, but again, I want more counter magic. Also, the pickup with Signet's good for Tezzeret and Shop if I end up
No.
getting lucky enough to be able to play the
The
Shop. But I
wild things roared.
don't
their
expect that to
terrible
happen.
roars And gnashed their terrible teeth. And rolled their terrible
So as of right now, these cards are the two that I'm still unsure being run. This is almost
But
certainly
Max
going to make the
stepped
cut.
into
That's
his
what I'm
private
thinking
boat
right now.
and waved goodbye. And sailed
Alright,
back
we'll see
over
here.
a year, and in and out of weeks.
I guess Trinket isn't
And
that great
through
with
the
balance either. I suppose these probably
and
make
into
the cut.
night of his very own room.
I think right now the deck looks about like that. That's what I'm leaning towards. With possibly Remorseful Cleric in there as well. So, I mean, if I had to put the deck together now, I suppose I'd throw Balancron in there. Student and Figure and make a 23 land deck like that. But obviously I don't have to build it the way that it is now. Alright, so Delta will fetch the Hallowed Fountain. Tamio's pretty good. Get Probe. Academy is a card that when it's good, it's amazing. Basalt is also pretty good, especially with Tezzeret. I'm kind of tempted to take Basalt. Is Academy going to do it for me? Because it's so good under Winter Orb if you can get 2 mana off of it. I don't know what's going to wheel. I'm going to take it, man. I hope that I don't regret that pick. So, I could take Ojutai. This deck could also run Oath, funny enough, because it's got Regrowth and Twister, so I don't have like a... I actually think this could be an Oath deck. I'd take out Cleric and Linvala, right? The other card that's interesting is Ojutai, as well as Baneslayer, both very, very good. I'm kind of tempted to take Oath. If I take Oath, though, I need to pick up a... I guess Trinket loses value, too. Do I want to try it? Do I want Baneslayer? It's such a... No guts, no glory. I'm going to grab the Oath and see. All right, so for me, Wake is really good, but Lotus is better. And I might get lucky. This is just on the edge of being able to wheel something decent for me. I could maybe get the Wake, Claim, O-Ring, Impulse. Any of that I would be happy about. I'll definitely take the Lotus here, though. So there's Azcanta. There's Sphinx's Rev for recovery. There's also Day of Judgment. Just clearing the board can be very important, but I do have balance, so I may actually prefer Search for Azcanta. It's not the greatest thing with Winter Orb, but it's pretty good with balance, pre-flipping, you know. The other option is Feast and Famine, which is just gross with Winter Orb, which is totally silly. I'm going to take it anyway. It's total meme, but whatever. It's crazy, but if I am able to do something with it, well, I guess that'll turn out okay for me. We'll see what happens. I don't know. That's probably foolish. I'm going to need probably Caracas here, and then I'm going to need something else to Oath into if I am going to go that route. And this definitely seems like a very good Oath target. Deals, but, and then there's opposition. I didn't get enough tokens to making, I don't think, to run opposition, sadly. I don't, opposition Winter Orb's insane, but I think we'll go the Iona route. Alright, not a lot made it back around, but I did get the Mana Tithe, which is an acceptable card to play. There's not Garruk Oath. I don't think that's a combo, so I'll take, oops, Terminus. And not a lot going on here for me, so I'll just get Probe. Alright, so Baneslayer is a good third target, so we'll go with that. Those will be my 3 targets, I think. I'll sideboard Thalia, I guess. I'm not sure what I bring that in against, but we'll sneak it in against something. I have the sword. It's so silly. Like, I've already won the game if I am equipping the sword, I suspect, in this deck. It's very, very foolish to take that card. Oh, Day of Judgment's great. I don't think I actually want Elspeth in here anymore. Elspeth looking super shitty, pardon my language, super crappy with Oath of Druids. Alright, get out of there. So, yeah, I mean, this is an interesting control deck. It has the capacity to loop itself, which is nice. I think it's pretty interesting. I suppose Oathing and Palinchron is not the worst thing ever either. Just because Oathing and Palinchron with Winter Orb is pretty nice. But overall, I don't think... I mean, that's not... it's not exactly the game plan. This deck does have a game plan, which is neat. It has multiple ways to win. Basically lock the game out, right? All that costs 2. So, 1, 2, 3, right? So, I like where I'm at. The Time Twister pickup, I'm really glad for that because it ended up working out nicely with the regrowth. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this deck. I think the Artifact Light is a little bit of a problem. Trinket, Sword of Feast and Famine. Dang, I'd love that card in here, but I just don't see... I mean, Sword just doesn't... It just doesn't make the cut. It just doesn't do what the deck needs to do. And Sol Ring taking the slot of a land is fine, so this 16 lands looks good. And I can even play some of these tricky lands. So I think what I'll do is I'll add basics. Go 7/7/2, cut out these forests, make them Razorvine and Stirring Wildwood. So I just replaced basically 2 plains. Well, Caracas is a direct swap. Academy will actually replace the plains, and then I'll drop a... Or I guess it will place an island, and then a plains will be replaced by Hallowed Fountain. Alright, so let's take a look here. So I should have 1, 2, 3, 8 white, and then or 9 white rather, and then 1, 2, 3, 8 blue, theoretically. So if I pull plains and I put it in the workshop, I have possibly, I have 8 blue sources, 8 white sources, and 2 forests. And then I also have the Signet, which is a blue-white source, and the Lotus, which is all 3. I mean, you know, for a silly deck, this is a pretty fun way to, I think this is a pretty fun way to make a shot at building a deck. Now, the card that I don't have, because it didn't happen early enough, the card that I really would have liked is in this hole right here, this 3 slot, which is Beast Within. If you're going to draft the Oath deck, I think you've got to take Beast Within, in my opinion, when you can. But either it didn't happen, I don't think it came around before the Oath. Like, I didn't know I was drafting Oath, right? And then I either didn't get an opportunity at it, or the opportunity, or I missed it before I realized. So that's unfortunate, but it'll have to do. I could technically throw Lion's Eye Diamond in here and not necessarily be the worst thing ever, because of things like Time Twister. I could put Regrowth on the stack targeting Time Twister, then sack the LED for blue, resolve the Regrowth on the twist, and just play it. And because I can Tezzeret for 0 to go get it, if I had to. But this is not... So the advantage of having LED, I'm throwing out situations where you could use it, but those aren't really what it would be there for. The main reason it would be in the deck, if anything, would be to force a Mind Twist off balance and to power up Tolarian Academy. So it could do some things, but most of the time it'll be 0, do nothing, right? And then every once in a while, I'll have balance and I'll just Enlighten Tutor for like Lion's Eye Diamond, which, just to make sure that I Mind Twist my opponent, and you know, I'm holding balance. If I'm holding these 2 cards, right, I can Wrath and Mind Twist them in one shot, and that's pretty good. So, am I talking myself into playing the card, or am I talking myself out of playing the card? And that is the question that I don't have an answer to. I guess it's a sideboard option if I think that something like that's going to be useful. I'm definitely letting counter magic in this deck. That's a problem. I suppose I could take out like Get Probe, but I think this is fine. I'll run it as is, and then we'll just see. We'll just see what happens. It looks like a really fun deck, regardless. So I'm going to print screen and edit that guy, and save that, and I'll clean up the editing later, join this match. Okay, so I'm back here. I'll go ahead and just kind of grab the edges and make it a smaller and easier to read image. And flip back, and yeah, I'd like to play first. Honestly, you know, that could easily play second. Wow, that's atrocious. 2 of the 3 targets in my hand. I'm not going to keep that. This is playable. So this card's really good early, but I don't actually want to bother with it. Because I'm looking for action. So what I could do here is I can go get Soul Ring, go Soul Ring, Signet, pass, and then kind of take it from there. But I may end up wanting to get Winter Orb or Oath. So I'm going to hold off and hope that I can find some mana. Alright, let's get some mana, please. Okay, there we go. So this is the other one that's a little bit weird. I can ramp a little bit, but it puts me 2 turns away from playing Oath. I don't know what I'm facing yet, but if I tutor up an Oath, I may just win, right? So I guess I will go ahead and get some mana out, but I'm unsure as to whether or not that was the correct play. If I draw a blue source and my opponent's really not doing much, then having Cryptic Command up here is really good. So yeah, so it doesn't look like... Okay, yeah. Alright, well, not great here, but not terrible. Okay, so at least I can Confluence, and I can ET, so let's see what happens. And nothing too bad happens here. I think I'm in great shape. Oh, well, sure. Depending on what they get, this might not be the best for them with the Confluence in my hand. Because it's Iona, Baneslayer, and Emrakul. I can deal with all of it, so... I suppose they're probably going to get Iona named White or whatever, but I'm holding Karakas, so they have to go get Baneslayer here, because if they get Emrakul or Iona, like, I know they want to. But, it's going to have to be Baneslayer, and then I get to bounce it and draw 2 if I want. Or I can go get Oath. Okay. That's hilariously bad. Yeah, sure, I'll take it. Funny. Alright. So get 6 mana here. I'm going to try to get a counter draw off. Yeah, definitely on that. So counter draw, draw. And then what I'm going to probably do here, well, I would normally go get Winter Orb. But it looks like Tezzeret will do that for me. So I could get Moat, I can get Oath. But I want to be a little cautious. I could get Soul Ring. 8. How much does he cost? He costs a little bit more. So actually, if I get Tezzeret, yeah, I think if I go get Guild Lotus actually, yeah, Lotus actually sounds real good. So Lotus will fix my color issues, and then I'll go ahead and take the damage, of course, to 3. I want to do this 4, and I think I will tap the Karakas. Alright, so I'll do 5. Go this route. And then I could Orb here, but I don't think it's... I think it's a little bit premature, so... Instead, I'll just do this. This allows me to... protect my board with Cryptic. I also have 5, 10, 15 points of damage threatening my opponent right now. So, although a lot of times people don't see that, so I don't know if they will. Kuldotha, Forge Master, sack 3 artifacts, go get an artifact. So, I could counter this. Yeah, I think I will. Because I'm at Emrakul mana, so so I think my opponent's dead because I'm gonna Emrakul, take, what is it? Take their next turn and then let's make sure that I've got this right. I probably want to Signet. Then they get a turn after that, but I can make them play really poorly. So I can go fetch one orb here. Let's see, 12 mana. Let's just figure this out. I want to leave the Karakas untapped, of course. All right, 6, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right. Okay, that'll work. Yeah, so this is exactly why I picked him as a finisher, because I've been on the receiving end of this, and it's just incredibly unpleasant. Now, I'm not exactly sure. I mean, it was very amusing that my opponent missed the Karakas thing there, so I'm quite happy with how that all turned out. I'm not exactly sure how it would have worked out if I hadn't had that option, however. Now, one thing, again, LED, if I'd have been able to search for LED for 0 off Tezzeret, I would have then had 4 artifacts in place I could smash for 20. I'm going to just forget about that, though, and continue with what I've got here. I could conceivably pull the Baneslayer Angel against this opponent. It doesn't look like it's super useful. Palinchron's probably better. And the reason is that untapping a bunch of lands. Yeah, I mean, well, if my opponent briberies a Palinchron, I think that would be pretty sad thing for me to have happen. So perhaps not. I'm just not sure how useful this. It's a big angel, and that's cool, and the lifelink is great, but it doesn't really do anything. My opponent didn't appear to be too aggro, so I'm not sure that it's super useful for me. Could take Remorseful Cleric. There is this loop of Regrowth and Time Twister, Remorseful Cleric, both of Druids, where I just pin something under a moat, and you just loop through the deck over and over and over with Regrowth and Twist, while oathing into Cleric and exiling their deck, basically, is kind of the idea. I think the games are going to be over long before then, so it's a little bit silly. Yeah, I guess I'm not going to make any changes. I think I'm just going to play it or just run it back. I could probably sneak the Trinket Mage in because the Soul Ring is just so good that even if I oath into a Trinket Mage, who cares? And I might not actually even oath. But no, this is fine. Okay, good stuff. So this looks like a go get Soul Ring, Twister early, or Jace early if you can hand. I'm going to find out what my opponent's doing over there first, and then figure it out. Hopefully nothing too crazy. Now, I can also keep in mind that Twister could reset the clock on the Shelldock clock. So I kind of want to keep that in mind too. So I'm going to get Probe here. So Thief of Sanity, Mox Ruby. Okay, that's yet again one of those painful situations. So hopefully they hold off on the Mox. They're playing it to play around Mana Tithe. That's unfortunate. Alright. So I do really want Soul Ring here. And I do not have... So they're missing a mountain. My hand is pretty weak. I'm really leery about refilling my opponent's hand, but if I don't get Jace, like if I can draw a blue for Jace and Tezzeret, then my hand is incredibly good. Otherwise, I'm in big trouble if they go Thief and I miss a land drop or something. I think I'm just going to blow it. I hate doing it right there. I really don't like that, but I'm not sure that doing nothing was super good for me. I just refilled my opponent more than I refilled me. It's undid their mulligan, you know. But I'm ahead on board. And when you're ahead on board, a lot of times twister, that's the time to twist. Oh, wow. This is not good. Oh, wow. Okay, well. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold control here. So how much does this cost right now? It costs, I've got a sorcery. I can go sorcery instant, right? So I can make it 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I can't actually, I think I'm just going to play it. I'm trying to decide if I should. So here's the thing. I might want to mana tithe whatever I play here because my next draw, my opponent can mana tithe it. And I'm not going to be able to do anything with mana tithe. So I think I'm actually going to mana tithe it. Wait, I was holding control. Okay, well, I might just lose because of that. I'm not sure what just happened there. I'm going to... Okay. I mean, my opponent's definitely going to slaver me, and if I draw anything that I can play, I'm going to get massively punished here. Okay. Wait, turn off auto yields. Holy smokes. How lucky is that? Wow. Wow, that was so lucky. Oh my gosh, I am so lucky. Okay, so they can bounce something of mine. Whoop-de-doo. And I don't get to draw a card. I mean, maybe I shouldn't have even played the Lotus, but wow. They would still be able to do it here because they would just play the Lotus and then make the same play. So whatever, it happens. So it's a very expensive duress is what it looks like. Slow down slightly. Positive side, my opponent can't kill the Lotus right now. 26, 27. All right, well, it's recoverable. It's a recoverable Mindslaver. Man, that Metalworker. Huh. I mean, like, I don't think that's going to make or break the game, but I'm happy with the results. Okay, well, now I'm in big trouble. That's ugly. I don't know. Maybe the Twister was just, I should have had some cojones and just stuck with it. I have a feeling this game may be lost. So I'll go ahead and probably play Lotus. But, I mean, there are things I can draw that could save it. I could draw, for example, Jace here would be a huge rip. Of which there are many Jaces, right? In this deck, I think. Yeah, so. Let's see if my opponent counters this. I haven't seen any counters from him, so. At least I can make dirty work a little bit. Yeah, I would love Moat Chalice, I think. This is a bit of a trap, right? Because I can't afford to take Moat or Iona. I'm gonna have to keep taking mana and then hope that I should have put Iona on top, I suppose. It doesn't actually matter though, because if I oath that far down, I think I'm doomed. But technically, it would have been a little bit smarter. So, what's he cost right now? So he's sorcery, instant, artifact. That's 3. So right now, Emrakul is 10 mana. But it's got to kill the Lotus, I imagine. Because if they don't, I can minus Jace, make him 9 mana. I can use 3, 4, and play Chalice on 2. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I feel like I should be able to. You get a Golgari Signet. I should have given him the Dynamo, actually, because it's less painful for him to sack for Daretti. But, well, no, maybe not. That doesn't make sense. Make him work for it. So unfortunate there, the double artifact hit. So I'm pretty sure this means I'm losing my Lotus. If my opponent doesn't kill the Lotus, like, they're insane. But you never know. Maybe they get greedy and plus up Daretti just once, just one time. Alright, well, bummer. Looks like I'm going to get out-controlled this game. So 3, 4... Alright, multi-kickers 2 on this. Play this. Go ahead and get a card. I can get more cards so I can go deeper, or I can plus and then wait on it, and I think I'll do that. So I don't really like my board position here. I'm not sure what's going to happen. But I suspect what's going to happen is I'm going to lose. We'll see. These two Planeswalkers are much, much better than these two most of the time. So does the opponent want to kill my Chalice? No, I was hoping Daretti would go away here. Alright, so this guy costs 10, and I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even if I had I can go 7, 8 if I had a dead Planeswalker, but jeez. Confluence is not bad here. So I could get Confluence and kind of set up a little bit. Okay, so just checking. Yeah, 10. Okay, just checking. So I can bounce both of these guys and draw a card, and I think that's what I want to do. I don't really want my opponent to have an easy use of Daretti, is what it is. Okay, we'll get that into play. Pass. All right, we're getting close. So it's 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A land would be 8. I can kill a Planeswalker, which would basically be 9 mana. So if I could draw an artifact. Mana, do I have any left? I have a Signet. So a Signet would do it, because I could play it off the workshop and then play a land. Alright, opponent's also got Shelldock, which is a concern. So you can Wrath and kill Daretti, which is definitely something. Before I do that, Okay, let's see what else is going on over there. Okay. Through the Breach Bolus. Okay, so they don't have any instants. Huh. So, like, do I have enough mana to kill Daretti and get this all done? I think I'm a white short. And this guy costs sorcery, instant, artifact, planeswalker. Oh, I see. It says 4 card types, so 9. 6, 7. Yeah. So I'm short again. We each have 6. Yeah, this is not quite going to get me there. So I probably am going to Wrath here. In fact, I'm definitely going to Wrath, unfortunately. I say Wrath, but, you know. Go ahead and get this down. Plus this up. And then the question is, do I want to do anything else? I think the answer is no. I want to cut through the breach a Hex Mage, I suppose. Oh, okay. 11, 10. Guess I'm dead. Alright, fair enough. Crazy. I still think I have the edge in this match, but I did give my opponent a lot of time there. I'm going to take out Baneslayer, I think. Moat has a use against this guy. Or opponent, I should say. Perhaps. Elspeth is actually looking very strong, though. Oath is a little bit weak. Like, I have to be more aggressive than what I am. To have much of a chance here, I think. So what if I go... I guess, honestly, though, the Time Twister was probably just a big problem. I do need to bring in Trinket Mage here. I probably should have just ran it the whole time, frankly. I probably just take out... Is it Day of Judgment? It's not that great. I take out Day, and I take out Terminus, and I run Elspeth, and I just get more aggressive. I probably will leave... So I'm quite worried about that Blightsteel, and Mode actually gives me a way to deal with it, but because I'm worried, that probably means... So my opponent has Through the Breach, right? So they can potentially just Through the Breach it into play and smash me. So I think I'll go this route. Elspeth allows me to go over the Moat. Trinket, just really good with the Soul Ring. I still have the Oath. And I have a few more hits. Or I have at least one more, or equal number of hits, rather. So I'm fine on that. I think this is probably a keep here. It's a little weak with that Academy, but we'll see. So I can do it off of the Razorvine Thicket, I guess. Or, can do this, basically. Oh, geez. Maybe I should have taken out Balance now that I think about it. Well, we'll see. Opponent's going to go crazy. Okay, so Mox is gone. Grawl is gone. Or Golgari is gone. They didn't play the Grawl. That's an interesting choice. So, alright, so Orb is going to be garbage against him. Yeah, this is a weakness in my build. No solution to mass artifacts. Okay, so they did that. I see why they did that. assume they're going to run out of Signet and then Thief. Yep. No, just Thief. So that's interesting. I may just have to emergency balance here, which is going to cost me a few cards. 1, 2. If I play the balance, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to end up losing 2 cards, and then I have to make a play. I'll throw away Academy and probably one or Orb. I guess that's just fine. All right, so I'll throw away Orb and Academy. Oh, no. 4 cards to keep. All right, so we'll keep that guy, Stirring, and Plains. Yep. I'm actually going to play the Wildwood here because I know my opponent's got Planeswalkers, so if I can get... I can... If they run out of Planeswalker, I can go land, attack. Alright, so I imagine they're going to dump a bunch more artifacts into play. And that's fine. So that leaves them with a Confluence and 2 unknowns. Or 1 unknown, rather. Okay. Good sale. It's not... That's a sorcery, so... pretty good top deck there. 1 to each creature, 2 to each opponent. Destroy target artifact. I guess I'm done. So I wonder if the opponent knows that I can block with my Stirring. They do not. Or they have removal. We'll find out. I think there's a good test, though. Excellent. He's could have sideboarded better in this match with the Orb and Balance being so weak. So I think that was a huge mistake. Okay, so they've got a Fiery Confluence, but not much else, right? Are they going to go Confluence to the face? Are they going to choose to kill my Wildwood, deal 3? Yeah, sweet. Okay, so that takes care of the threat on my Soul Ring. I mean, there's a small chance my opponent's just going to give me this game. They're going to flood out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have 10, though. They're close to Blightsteel. There's a lot of things that could go wrong still, but I'm going to have to go for pressure. Like I said before, I think I have to try to win, and I have to try to win basically right now. So if I can win quickly... then maybe I won't get killed by this incredible amount of mana that my opponent has. They're 1 away from a Blightsteel. But if they hardcast it, I don't necessarily need to counter it. I probably want to get more cards in my hand. I could sit on Cryptic and hope. But, I mean, there's only 1 card in the hand. I don't know what it is, right? But if I can get rockin' ASAP, so Karakas is the card I'm going to take here. Put Island on top, excuse me. So that gives me a little bit of insulation against some of what they could have. Is it Biggins? It is. Okay, so that's the card I had to read on, basically. Okay. So I think what I do, I just shrink it, hit them for 5, and then I think I win. So I can shrink it and hit for 5, or I can take an extra card here. Because I might hit Jace or one of my other bounce spells, and then I don't have to screw around with it. Yeah, or just a way to kill him. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this Sol Ring's going to win this game for me. Let me just make sure. It said nobody ever, right? So I could take Tezzeret. So I could take Tezzeret here. And then I orb my opponent, bounce it. Smash. They've got 1 turn to answer. Or I take Elspeth. Crash in for a lot. Just block here. Don't even worry about it. Yeah, I like that. So I think this is a mathematical victory here. So here's what happens. My opponent can only trample over for 9 points of infect damage, and I can counter whatever their play is, which means I will win, I think. So I'll just plus that up. Mash for lots. And then whatever my opponent does here, the expectation is it gets countered. Oh yeah. Wow. That was not an easy match. I'm really happy with the results, but that was quite a struggle. I think sideboarding to the be more aggressive was definitely correct. I can see a reason to be playing Elspeth. I saw it before, and perhaps I play it over Day of Judgment. I've got Terminus and Oath and Balance to punish him, so maybe I want to run Elspeth just because it's a hell of a clock. And I think I will do that. I'll make that one little swap there. The other option is Trinket Mage. I know I have Oath, but Sol Ring is so good, as we saw there. It's probably so good that it's got to be in here. So if I'm going to do that, maybe I don't run Elspeth and I run the Trinket. I don't know how I feel about that. How do I feel about that? I'm not convinced that's correct. Elspeth still has the drawbacks of what I had outlined before, as far as like, you know, working with Oath, but it's great on with Moat, and it's just a good card. It's not a great card for me. It's a little slow. I don't know if I'm talking myself into it or out of it. Baneslayer, on the other hand, Baneslayer, Elspeth. Oh, one thing I got to keep in mind, I can always terminus some creatures to the bump if I actually had to for the Oath situation. God, Elspeth is just one of those cards though, because I have Sol Ring. So if I go turn 2 Elspeth, I might just win right there. Maybe I sideboard. Maybe I should just not run Moat and then sneak it in. But I mean, there's decks that'll lose to Moat, so I cannot. I don't know for sure. I think what I do is I sideboard Moat in. I think that's more correct. I run the Elspeth for pressure, and because Moat gets in the way of Tezzeret and everything, and then I just sneak in the Moat if it turns out that my opponent is going to be really soft to it. Like if they're playing mono red, for example. So I think with that in mind, I'll go ahead and take a snapshot of that, and that'll be the new version of the deck. I think that's a little bit better. Also, having the Trinket there is going to make the Academy a little bit more reliable as well, which I like. So save that, jump back over here, and join. Oops. No, really, jump back over here. All right, so yeah, I want to play first. I suppose I'll keep with no idea what I'm facing. Hopefully I don't feel like, oh, gee, I wish this was a Moat. Huh. All right. And I could. Fake counter up. Okay, looks clear. So let's try and run out Jace. Very nice. Sure, sure. It may not even prove to be super useful. Alright. Do I run Elspeth out into double blue? I've got a follow-up play if I hit a land. So I guess I do. Eek. Please don't mana drain me. Okay. Counter magic. I can live with that. My opponent did miss a land drop, right? So Twister looking a little better. Maybe a little worse now. Well, Moat would not have helped me. I'm going to go ahead and pay the life and see what's happening over there. Oh my gosh, Ancestral, Kiki. We got Ancestral. Man, I've got balance, but yeah, I don't think so. Let's see. I have Get Probe I could connect with, so oh hey, that'll work. That was a nice Twister. Okay. We're doing something. So we get 10 mana showing and a little bit of pressure for Chandra. I don't know what's in my opponent's hand anymore, but at least they're not holding Ancestral Kiki. Possibly, I don't know. Oh, Ancestral and a Mox. Lovely. Oh, it isn't going to be easy. But I do have Soul Ring, so I think that trumps a Mox, but Ancestral, I don't really have. I guess Twister is my version of power. Okay, getting bad now. The only good thing is that Jace will prevent them from actually killing me. The Jace effect would. Unless that happens, sure. Okay, sure. I mean, yeah. Yeah, that's going to happen sometimes. Does Deceiver Exarch... I forget to look. I don't think it has flying. Let me look. If I could type. Flash. No. Okay, so Moat definitely comes in. Linvala comes in. I think Terminus is out. Elspeth... Baneslayer can come out. So we'll use Linvala in place of Baneslayer as pressure. Elspeth is probably fine. There isn't a lot else I can do here, except hope that I win. I mean, I don't have a lot of. Oh yeah, or draw like that. I will keep. So that's a pretty good hand. I would say. I guess this is my version of Black Lotus in the right hand. And sure. And that's my other version of Black Lotus. I'm going to go ahead and just run this guy out and start getting some cards. But it does have Bolt. So I actually might plus this up here. I might actually plus this up here, yeah. Opponent has Bolt, and then I can hide under... I can protect it better with a Cryptic. So unless they have, like, immediate answers. The other thing is this keeps Deceiver Exarch from actually killing me, so... There's something to be said for that. Sure. Let's go get some more mana. There's the last of it. So I don't need to be super greedy. I can wait on it though. I'll go ahead and grab some cards. Yeah, I like that guy. He looks good. So maybe I should be a little bit more greedy than I am. 3, 4. So how much do I need to cast him? He's 13, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I play this on 4, so 4, 5, 6. I could theoretically do it next turn, but I don't think I'm in that much of a hurry. It's not going to hurt my opponent as bad as it should, because they don't really have any plays to make. And I can sit under Cryptic here and then just make a giant one off of the Workshop. A 4 cost Chalice. Or not. Let's find out. Wow, so if I'd have done it for 4, I still would not, I would not be able to stop this. So, alright, well, you got my Emrakul. That sucks. And you got my Cryptic, which double sucks. Okay. Strange. This is the deck running Kiki-Jiki. Pretty sure you take Emrakul here, bud. Yeah. Okay, I'm running out of options, but I can get a Moat here if I'm concerned about it. Well, I like that balance. Yeah, I like that. Let's Mind Twist my opponent while we're at it. God, this is a pretty savage draw. Alright, so this will be white and blue, and then I'm going to play this. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I want to play this for... I want to leave 2 white, so I can 3, 6, 7. So I can spend 6. So 3, 6. And then I can spend 1 more. Yeah. Okay. And then I'll go get probably Moat and Balance. Mind Twist my opponent and be done. Alright, so now they can't combo me off, is what it looks like. Okay. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and just slam this, even though it telegraphs it. They have multiple discard spells and counters, so if I can get it on the board now, I'll just get it on the board and then they can deal with it. Targeting me? No? Darn. Well, that's pretty weak. Sure. Alright, well, they don't know about the Mana Tithe, so I suppose that's good. Well, the Karakas is probably toast. Couldn't play the Plains. I think at this point I am gonna hide the Oath. Am I? Yeah, I'll hide the Oath from him. Well, they've done a remarkable job of drawing more mana sources, unfortunately. So I'm playing my lands only because I'm hoping to Twister, so... One argument for playing the Oath is that I may not be able to play it if I'm not careful. I may not be able to play it if they have like kill all of my artifacts, for example. Yeah, so Twister is what I want, of course. Put Razorvine on top. So go ahead and grab some white and try to get this down. And then the question is whether or not I run the twist out, and I think I probably do at this point. I don't know though. Let's think it through. Maybe I don't. I get to attack for a while. I get to pressure my opponent a little bit. If they crush my hand, I suppose I regret it. These are both of my... But I still have regrowth in the deck, so I think I'm fine. Like right now, my opponent's not doing anything. And more cards in their hand very well could. I mean, I learned that the hard way the other game, so. I still have a counterspell in my deck also that I'd like to pull out and use, so. Okay, cool. Definitely don't care about that at all. That's making Twister more valuable, basically, is what they just did. Oh, come on, just play a creature, dude. I mean, I know there's a moat there and everything. So my opponent can play that flash creature and tap the Winter Orb to get out from under it, so I want to pay attention and watch for that. Mind Twist. All right. I'll destroy target land, I guess. All right, so I need to find regrowth, of course. Or I can just find a creature that's going to do something for me. All right. Yeah, sure, whatever. I actually need to hold... I just realized I have Big Jace. I need to hold some lands. Ah, that sucks. Opponent is just fighting off every possible thing I could be doing here. That's kind of sucks. But then again, that'll protect Big Jace, so... let's see what you've got. Pestermite, Kiki, Disallow, Gonti. Okay. So could Twister here, and I think that I will. It's just too much advantage for me. So boom, boom. And then I'm not going to be playing Trinket. I'm actually really glad it's in my hand. This thing costs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 12, I believe. Am I short? I'm short. So we'll do it this way. And then yield. So I don't like this because of the fact that I'm going to let him in with the Oath, but I don't hate this either, so. Do I have any other targets? I don't think... I think I've got 100% of my targets, except for Oath of Druids. Of my Enlightened Tutor targets is what I'm saying. So... Alright, now I'm willing to pay some life. Let's see what's going on. DT, Pestermite, Thoughtseize. Mostly stuff I don't care about. So they don't have the disallow. Alright. Excellent. And then I believe I take their Toxic Deluge and kill them here is what happens. So let's do that. So 4, 6, 7, lots and lots and lots of mana. Oh no, they're going to play Pestermite. So here's what's going to happen. They're going to play Pestermite. They're going to play Pestermite, and they're going to, well, I don't know. If they're foolish, they'll tap the Winter Orb, but otherwise, they're going to be able to survive is basically what's going to happen. But I think that they're dead either way. It's just going to take longer. So make sure they don't have any removal, so I can play Emrakul. And then play Karakas. Yeah, okay. I mean, it's over. It's just a matter of how quickly we want it to be over. So I feel I'm tempted to run this thing and just loop it with the Oath plan. I don't know. The Oath plan is not. My opponent's not really giving me a lot to work with over there. I mean, maybe Oath is the card that gets pulled. I think that's probably stupid. I don't know though. So a 2/1 flyer early on, it's pretty good against it's pretty bad against Liliana, but it's pretty good against some of what my opponent's trying to do over there. I mean, I got the most insane start I think that I can get, or right there up tied for most insane. So yeah, maybe I pull the Oath and I run Baneslayer. Does that make sense? I think it does actually. And then the other card I could run is a Sword. At this point I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, possibly 6, which I can Enlighten Tutor for. So maybe I want to run the Sword. If I play the Sword, what do I pull? Is it going too deep? I mean, maybe I take out Iona at this point and just leave it in Emrakul's capable hands there. Of course, if I get a draw like I got, then I wouldn't want that. But yeah, I think I'll do that. I'll run Sword Orb and just focus on that. That's pretty good. There's a mulligan. All right, that's going on bottom. Feeling really bad now if I end up having an opportunity to Oath. Opponent floats an Ancestral Vision. That's amazing. Okay. We've got an Ancestral Recall, remember? So I'm thinking I want to Enlighten Tutor for at this point, Gilded Lotus is the card. If I can pull it off. I suppose Moat would also be very effective. So I'm super worried about my opponent just going off here with their combo. I'm going to go get Gilded Lotus and see what happens. Did they leak it? Oh, they leaked it. God dog it. So maybe I should have got Soul Ring, I guess. But because then I could have gone shop Soul Ring. Well, at least I get the orb here. Opponent's way ahead on card advantage, so. And it's about to get worse. So let's run out the orb. See if we can win this way. I suppose I got the leak out of their hand. I guess that's the only thing you can really say about getting countered. But 2 for 1 on the counterspell also. All right, so opponent's Ancestraled. Twister, not bad here. Could be time. It evens the score on mana, and I still have Mana Tithe. So if I go Twister and my opponent has a solution, like if they have the Flash guy, the Pestermite, I'm all set. I just counter it. Well, I don't know about all set, but it's not bad for me. I think I've got the Tithe, so I think I wait and I try to tithe my opponent out. I try to Mana Tithe them out, and then beautiful. That's what I was talking about. So we tithe that guy, and then I Twister with a bunch of mana tapped over there. Oh wow, that's nice. All right, and it's another chance to do exactly what I just did. So actually, let's go Angel and try to close the game out. Since my opponent's a combo deck, I'll try to combo them out and then refill my hand as quickly as I can. So that may tell me some information about whether or not I should be twisting here. Hostage Taker, Liliana the Veil, Pestermite. Okay, so the answer is 100% yes. All right, Pestermite and Deceiver Exarch. That's a little rough. So they're going to tap the Winter Orb, I think. I think they have to. Yeah. Which means it's twisting time. All right, so they run out the tap. Yep. All right, all this is gone. Dismiss that. All right, so they got one crack at it here. Let's find out how bad it is. Oh my gosh, they have Mountain Kiki-Jiki. Well, I gave it my best shot, but they had 2 Pestermites. I don't think that I was wrong to play the Angel here. I think you have to get them on a clock. I could have been wrong, though. They are going to Kiki, and I'm going to die. Okay. Well, opponent's deck was too good. That's frustrating. Shoot, man, that's vintage for you, though. I mean, obviously this deck isn't, you know, perfect or anything, but it feels like a good deck. I'm super disappointed that that worked out that way. Shoot. All right, well, I still got to finish this, so let's see if I can break even on my investment here. This is doing a great job of keeping me distracted from my ribs, pain in my ribs. So, well, that game was more of a pain in my neck. All right, well, this is a maybe. This could actually be a keep. I'm actually going to try it and see what happens with that. And the reason is, so I can draw. So if my opponent takes a Enlightened Tutor in my hand, then I suppose it's pretty much garbage. But okay, yeah. So I could draw anything that works with basically Soul Ring. I have a Soul Ring in my hand. So mulliganing a Soul Ring hand is almost always bad. So, but alternately, I could use my Chalice for alternate mana. Okay, so it's going to be Soul Ring. So I could use my Chalice for alternate mana, and then I could have So I actually don't get ahead if I Enlighten Tutor here. I might want to wait and see, because I could go get Winter Orb or Oath, depending on what color mana I draw, or I could naturally draw. Okay, cool. Because there's a curve here into Elspeth, and then I can go Winter Orb. It doesn't look like Orb's going to be doing much. And then the Oath of Elspeth combo is not exactly exciting, so... Go ahead and make guys and see what happens. I don't have Moat in this version, so I may also want to go get Gilded Lotus, though, just so I can fix my mana. So I think holding the Enlightened Tutor was right here. I mean, I could have rushed out of Soul Ring and then had kind of nothing to do with it, but waiting gives me information and allows me to make the best choice, I think. It's difficult. It's like a discipline thing, but I think it's correct. Of course, if my opponent Mind Twists me here or something, I feel bad about it, but it's still correct, I think, to have done to have made the choice that I made. Yeesh. Okay, do I have anything that'll address that? I don't have any artifacts that'll deal with that. Okay. That one's good. Let's go mash for 4. Which I'll do. I don't know what my opponent's going to take with the Spectre, but if they don't take Oath, I can tutor up that Gilded Lotus I mentioned earlier. And possibly do something with it. We'll see what they do here. They're crazy too. Well, they have to play before they attack with the Spectre or lose the mana off the Relic. Okay, well, might change things. So it's artifact, creature, or land. So 1, 2, which leaves me with only 2 mana. Okay. Sure. So I could go get Soul Ring. There's really nothing here that's going to be super useful, so I'm going to just let it go. All right. Make more guys. I think we'll do it this way. That I have the option to tutor. All right, so 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 6. So I can go get Lotus now, and then I can play either Jace or Confluence, whichever one doesn't get stolen. I probably will. That was a nice top deck, obviously. Soul Ring. We should have taken Tangle Wire. If you end up tapping your own Winter Orb, it sucks. And because you can't untap your lands, that's probably what's going to happen. So maybe not. Maybe I should have taken Opposition. No, this was the game plan. Opposition Orb. I think the games that I lost certainly would have been easier had I had that. Since they went so long, I could have eventually found it. And, of course, Enlightened tutored for it. I think in hindsight, that was probably my mistake. I should have just had the guts to go for that. Even though it's a very hard card to use with only a few creatures in it. I mean, if I oath, I oath, and if I don't, I don't. So, wow. So my opponent tapped their Spectre. That's fantastic. That is so good for me right here. I'm going for Gilded Lotus. And good things are going to happen now. All right, so. All right, so it's going to be 1. So let me make sure I get this right. 1, 2, and then I guess, yeah, it's going to have to be that. Oh, I end up a little bit short. I didn't quite math that out. I should have got Azorius Signet. Oopsie, I got very focused on the Spectre idea. That may end up hurting me quite a bit. Shoot, that was actually terrible. But we'll see. It depends on what artifact they go and put into play. Yeah, I don't like where this is going. Well, we'll see what happens. Well, the non-Spectre hit there was huge, but I'm going to lose a Confluence here, probably. I could have jaced an extra card into my hand, but I don't know. Let's see what Forge Master fetches. So that was a big mistake. So instead of Lotus, if I'd have gone for Azorius Signet, I got very focused on Lotus, and I could have bounced both of these creatures and drawn a card. I wouldn't have the Jason play, or the Lotus, obviously, but my position would be a lot stronger here. I'd have more time. And with an Elspeth about to ultimate, that's pretty good. Still, my opponent has to choose between allowing me to ultimate with Elspeth or taking a card out of my hand. I may assume that the cards in my hand aren't good enough, so let's see. Yeah, and go after Elspeth. And that was what the Jace activation was about. Also, not giving my opponent extra cards was bad in some ways, but good in others, because the extra cards could actually be the cards that I need. These cards, either one of them should be good, so I didn't want to subject more cards to being vulnerable, basically. All right. I don't know how good Smokestack is against Elspeth. I think Smokestack is almost always a trap, which is why I passed it. You need some seriously good stuff going on to make Smokestack good. And if you have that seriously good stuff, like Crypt and Soul Ring and a bunch of other stuff, then why aren't you just winning? I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's not true, but we'll see. I understand why it's in my opponent's deck with the Forge Master and stuff, but well, I guess I'm okay. So I'm going to make a guy. So the question is, when do I do what? So I'm pretty sure I play Iona name black. What I'm not sure about is what my opponent's going to get. Artifact card and put it onto the battlefield. Sack 3. So if I play Emrakul and they have to sack their Forge Master, that might be the safest way to go here. I take their turn, but I stack it so that they're going to have to sack Forge Master, probably Tanglewire, and Smokestack, or else the Smokestack will totally screw them from the Emrakul effect. I'm trying to think what artifacts they could go get. Mindslaver. It's so bad. But if they go get Mindslaver, then I want Emrakul to control their next turn. I think I want Emrakul to fire off here, so yeah. So let's do this. Oh. Well, that's nice. Maybe. I'll take the bounce, because it could be good. Hopefully not regretting. Hopefully, like, I mean, obviously not regretting. That's a word salad. I need to stop saying that. Anyway, am I off by 1? Oh, wow, I'm off by 1. I suppose that would have been something to pay attention to. So, if I play balance, instant enchantment, sorcery, do I get anywhere? I don't think I do. Jeez. Guess I play Iona. Pray my opponent doesn't have Mindslaver. I probably lose to Mindslaver if I play Iona, because I took balance. This is feeling like the worst gameplay. Okay, whatever. Terrible gameplay on my part. Because I think they just Mindslaver me, balance, kill the Iona. They can ultimate that. I don't know. I don't know what happens. You can't worry about it anymore. Because I can't do anything about it. Alright. Yeah. Mirror Battlesphere. Phew. Okay. Not the worst. Could be worse. Could be worse. Okay, so at this point, I guess I didn't consider Mirror as one of the threats that my opponent could be playing here. So they're playing a lot of artifacts, so I'm guessing that Iona won't hurt him as much as it should, as much as I'd like for it to. But with balance in hand, I don't think Mirror's going to hurt me too much. Either they've got to slam it in if they want to kill Jace, or tap the Elspeth. Like, there's no real good situation here. The Iona gets to deal with the Mirror. Yeah, they've got to kill them Elspeth, I guess, because of the ultimate. Well, it gets what? Plus X, plus 0. Yeah, I suppose I can trade here. I'm not going to. I'm just going to chomp, and then Elspeth takes some damage, but from the Mirror ability. But now I'm feeling like things are pretty fine. Scrounger, sure. So Forge Master's still a problem over there. I suppose I could have let Elspeth die there just to Emrakul them. But I could also just do that off a mana source, and Jace can find that. Forge Master here. If Forge Master goes, yeah, this is good for me. Because now I I can probably get Confluence up. All right, I think this all worked out. I'll be completely shocked if I lose this. I can name white or blue, but yeah, they're gonna name white. They always name white, so beautiful. So I could take Emrakul, then Forge Master away their own Iona, Battlesphere, and land, and I think they lose. So yeah. All right. All right. I found they've got enough mana to play this guy. Yep. Now we move on. Tapped Forge Master is what I needed. So, crazy stuff. Linvala's looking real good. Baneslayer, not as much. I suppose Day of Judgment actually looks pretty good here as well, now that I think about it. Between the two, Day Linvala, maybe both. I'm worried about Spectre, of course, smacking me around a little bit. Elspeth was okay there. Kind of mediocre. It was fine for the tokens, but overall it's kind of weak. Kind of made the Oath no good, and I think we'll do it that way and see what happens. I think I can live without the Elspeth, honestly. Doesn't block. It did a good job of distracting, and an okay job of disrupting, but overall I wasn't super excited. Oh no, this is not good. Well, that's not good because it's 3 power on turn 1, but it's a lot less scary than what it could have been. But here's the turn where we find out if they have like Thran Dynamo or equipment. Or just Workshop. Or no, not Workshop, the 4-drop. Okay, well they're going for it. The 4-drop. Smokestack. Smokestack would be really bad there. I assume... No, not a Tangle Wire. It's the other one that would be really nasty. Yep. Okay, well... This deck definitely... I didn't pick up enough disenchants, so... and by enough, I mean any, so... I'm guessing they play Tangle Wire here, and then very shortly after that, I'm going to eat it. I'm gonna tap lands and then sacrifice them early, but after that, I'm not sure where I go. Oh, they tap in the Workshop. Okay, interesting. So they vamped. It wasn't for Swamp. We'll find out what it was for in a moment, I guess. That might save me. Don't know. So if they went and got Cold Oath of Forge Master, they'll tap Tangle Wire Scrounger. And if they don't have a land drop, under all those circumstances, then I get to Mana Tithe it. So, yep. No land drop, cast Kuldotha. You know you love your Kuldotha. Oh, that is nice, because they can still run the Kuldotha directly into Mana Tithe. And boom. Just like we wrote it up. Okay. Incidentally, not planning to Twister anytime soon. And reload my opponent's hand. They've invested quite a bit. The Vampiric and the Tanglewire were both pretty heavy investments. No, not... Okay. We've got one card left. I'm hoping it's a brick, and that I've got a little bit of time while they continue to brick. Definitely not Twistering, so... Tap the... Plains... No, I'll tap the island, because if it draws Soul Ring, I can cast Linvala. Okay. Alright, so the wire's gone. So if there's no smokestack here, or maybe... I don't know what else. Basically, if they brick here, I've got a little bit of time, and maybe I can get something going. I'll get probably... the question is, do I run Linvala down against what may just be a... if I play Linvala, the last card in his hand very well could be removal, and I'm just playing into removal. I can play Jace and slow down the beats a little bit. Then I still have to play Linvala. No, I play Linvala if they don't have anything, nothing too terrible happens. This is a little tough, because I kind of want to sit on Cryptic, and then I want to end of turn bounce. I think I just do nothing. So here's the problem. If I run out Linvala and they have removal, I'm tempoing myself. If I play Linvala and the removal is Liliana of the Veil, then I'm basically just giving this game away. So I can't afford for that to happen. So I'm going to have to just take 3 damage here and then get that thing off the table at the end of the turn. And if my opponent has a play, of course, then I can deal with it that way. Yeah, so Inquisition takes Time Twister. I actually don't plan to Twister, so I don't counter here. Alright, so they can't really do too much for now. I'll go ahead and bounce that guy. Okay, shop is possibly good. Run out Jace. I shouldn't have, I played that land too soon. Because if I hit like a Lotus here, I want it. Okay, so I'm definitely taking pile 1. I can at least find out what the heck is going on over there. What is the other card that... Oh, okay. So get card advantage out of it, so I can live with that. Alright, so now... Thing is, they don't have a, well, they have Forge Master. I'm not sure. They're gonna run out this guy, and then what? So they did have removal, by the way, which just shows you how much worse that could have gone. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3, 6. So we're almost there. So I want to get Iona down as soon as possible, and this is going to allow me to do it. Maybe. Depends on what that last card is. So I could smoke the board, but I think now is the time where I try to play blockers. They didn't have removal. I mean, they had an empty hand with basically this card, right? So if they draw on removal, they've drawn removal. But even if they kill Tezzeret, yeah, it's a little late there. I'm more concerned with my life total than anything. And then from there, are they going to let me Tezzeret? Wow. So I can win our orb, or I can Signet, or I can tap for extra mana. That's crazy. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 9 mana. I definitely want to Tezzeret again. Yeah, I'll take it. Signet, Academy. And then we'll get this thing down. Yeah, exactly. We'll get that thing down and we'll protect it with Karakas. Thanks. All right, opponent scoops. Well, pretty close. I think I did a fair showing against Crewman Wilson's absurd deck. That deck, Ancestral Recall, the other Ancestral Mind Twist, the combo. I mean, that deck is kind of like the premier, one of the premier vintage decks. It basically was, what do you call it? It was Kiki Jiki splashing black for the best black cards in the format, or some of the best black cards in the format. So can't feel too bad about it, but feel a little bit bad because it would have been really sweet to have actually managed to beat that deck, especially with this thing. But I think I played really well. I think I used Mana Tithe properly, called my shots a number of different times, and gave it a good effort. Had a lot of fun. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and thank you very much for watching. That'll probably be it for Vintage. I don't know, maybe one more. Basically, since I'm home and I have my injury, I pretty much just alternate between strong drugs and Motrin. So when I'm on Motrin, I'm awake and I can play, and when I'm on the stronger drugs, I'm asleep. So gives me a lot of time for Magic, I guess. So hopefully, let me know what you think. If you'd rather see less Vintage, there's only about 3 days left. Vintage Cube, I can continue to focus on Breya. I'll look for your thoughts in the comments. And thank you all for watching. Thank you for your positive thoughts on the last video as well after I got hurt. And I'll see you next time.